Welcome to Bastard Quest. I'm your game bastard, Kyle.
I'm Todd.
I'm probably Corey.
I'm Austin.
Today we're continuing with our exploration of the inner universe of you. Your personal journey. Wrong podcast. Sorry. No, we're doing Dune.
What do you do when we're not here?
I have a new age healing show on Tuesday mornings.
I wonder what all these crystals were.
Yeah, that's what the crystals are for.
That's the name of the show, Crystals with Kyle.
That's it.
567 episodes, not one of them published.
Next week is Quartz.
Wow.
No, this is Dune. We're playing Dune. The name of this arc. Have I told you guys the name of this arc previously?
No.
A House Divided Against Itself.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Okay, cool.
I've been naming it completely different shit on the podcast.
I know.
Yeah, cool. No, that's fine. Well, this is the whole arc, not an episode.
Oh, okay, got it.
Based on whatever quote you can pull from the movie.
Exactly.
No, I can't name the episodes ahead of time because I have no idea what you guys are going to do. So now, I want to clarify for listeners. I've messed up the line of succession multiple times.
Oh?
A little behind the veil here. Like, we record these well in advance of when they get published, and sometimes months in advance. And so it's hard to remember a lot of this shit.
Right.
Yeah, and so the line of succession from the Green Duke is Griselda Vent, Silas Vent, Abner Vent, which is Corey's character, and Wolfram Vent. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the far outlier is Borso Kern, who's not technically in the family, but there's some chicanery that allows him to be in the line.
Right.
So, Griselda's dead. If Silas dies,
Little.
Abner would be the next obvious choice.
Gotcha.
I'm sure that hasn't put a mark on your head.
Like, God.
That's fair to say. We bring up the line of succession again for absolutely no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, so Austin, do you want to just real quickly recap what happened last time?
Yeah, so we just spent some time following clues, basically, last episode. Abner had a conversation with Silas Vent on his activities in Griselda's room.
Yep.
Or whether or not he was in there at all.
Yep.
Maxim Vito spoke with the Mentat
Choranvid.
Tim.
No, she spoke to Tim about Choranvid.
About Choranvid. And Gary interrogated his soldiers and found out that we may have an imposter hanging around the palace.
Yeah, and then finally, Abner Vent went back to his apartments. It was very early in the morning. Been an all-nighter since Griselda's death.
Ready to take a load off and binge watch Secession.
Yep. He was. It was a free HBO month, and
We can't afford HBO.
No.
Not until we become a major house.
And he goes to his apartments. There are no Wu-Tang guard out front, which is unusual. He goes inside, and his body man, Chad, is sitting suspiciously. He investigates further. Chad topples over, either unconscious or dead. He doesn't know. Because in the reflection of the window pane through which the sun is just beginning to peek, there is a masked figure behind him with a knife at his neck.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, now that we're getting ready, that last episode, Austin said we were all following clues. That we should name that episode Scooby Dune.
I like it.
God help us. So the camera is we've got this helicopter shot of the palace, right? It's gray.
It'd
The
be
sun
an
is
ornithopter shot?
Yeah, the ornithopter shot. The palace is this massive structure in the center of Prost, the capital city of Jormungand, and the float is overhead. So it's pouring rain, gray storm clouds, and as the camera turns around this building, it gets closer and closer until it's looking through this window on one of the upper levels, and you see Abner Vent standing, looking out the window, stock still, because behind him is a figure dressed in black espionage gear, and there is a blade, not like under the throat, but like on his shoulder,
Right.
touching his neck. It's a punch dagger. Do you guys know what a punch dagger is?
No.
So a punch dagger is basically a handle with a triangular spike blade on it.
Gotcha.
Oh, so it's kind of like a brass knuckle of knife.
Yes, that is, and this is a pulse punch blade, so it's energized.
Pulsating?
Yeah, yeah, to do more damage.
Ah, good.
Now it's super technology, so it's not like it's just you just recognize that that's what it is. It looks just like a normal weapon
Right.
because space magic technology.
Sure.
the figure has this face concealing hood, and they pull it back, and you see the jade green eyes and high cheekbones of Lady Naomi Hake of the Bene Gesserit.
Ah, it's the Duke's old lady, huh?
Yes.
The one that Silas is banging?
That is information you gathered last session.
Yeah. And she has jade green eyes?
She does.
Can I take her to Lopan?
That's my first thought.
Yeah.
I'm really
Jade green
disappointed
eyes.
Kyle didn't read it the way that he likes to say it.
green eyes!
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to be super racist, so I didn't.
I'm sorry.
So, Corey, what is going through Abner's mind or pants?
He was really looking forward to a beer, but that ain't going to happen now. He's really not happy about the situation. He'd rather that not be happening.
Cool.
He misses Chad already.
Abner's seeing this all through the reflection of the big bay windows. Mm-hmm. And now you can see Chad is in his seat, and there's just this stain down the front of his shirt. The punch dagger probably went through the back of his neck.
Well, I'm glad he's dead, because I would have fired him for being unkempt.
Sure. She says, "You ask far too many questions.
You don't give me enough answers."
And
I don't even know what that means.
and she attacks.
God dang, give me a second to think about it. Stop it.
So this is a conflict,
Oh,
a violent one.
okay.
Corey, let's summarize. How good is Abner at fighting?
Not good at all. Yeah, my battle is 4 on my skills here.
Now, some of y'all out there might be thinking, he's just picking on poor Corey because Corey ain't good at fighting. And you'd be right. Don't worry, I'll pick on Austin too. You know who's never going to get in a fight? Todd.
Gary.
Right.
Gary, Wyoming, nobody's going to do anything to Gary.
Abner, he's not the most lithe man.
But he's going to have to do a lot of Sudoku.
Oh, great. I don't think I've ever actually described what Abner looks like. He's not short. He's not Danny DeVito, but he's like a shorter,
I'm glad that's your frame of reference.
That's where we started. Yeah.
Well, no, I'd say he's probably 5'7"-ish, stocky, barrel-chested. He's an older man. He's in his 50s, balding, just kind of like...
Well, but now there's melange, which he would have access to.
Sure, but it doesn't help with hair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see. I see. That's not why Oscar Isaac had such a youthful head of hair.
He's stocky, but you can tell he ain't going to be dancing or anything. He's just kind of awkward and stiff and weird looking.
Sure. Okay.
Not attractive.
So now, because she is essentially ambushing you
Right.
in this conflict, she's going to get to go first.
Right. And she has a Bene Gesserit, and they have ninja powers.
Right.
They have the weirding way,
They do.
which is like... In Dune, it's like kind of a kung fu thing where they can anticipate movements before they happen or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm fucked.
I don't know why you're arguing for your opponent.
I like to see the good in everybody.
I'm ready to go.
So she's moving to attack you. So this is going to be a contested fight. Now I'm going to say, right out the gate, your back is turned, so you're going to automatically be at a disadvantage in terms of
Right.
I'm going to give you your back is turned. So that's basically a temporary trait, which is screwing you over for this.
Sure.
So this is going to be a contested roll. It's going to be battle. What motivation are you using? Or drive? What's it called? Drive, motivation,
Drive.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm gonna go with power. I mean, I don't think truth applies, justice, faith, duty. I don't think any of those apply.
Yeah. I mean, you want to stay alive.
Sure.
So you've got a battle of 4
4
and a power of
8.
Well, that's not bad. So that's
It's decent.
yeah. You have a strong will to live.
Right.
Right now, she's got a 14, battle 7, power 7.
God.
This character does. She also has a focus for blades.
So we're rolling 2.
You're gonna roll 2 dice.
Okay.
Do you want to roll first to set her obstacle, basically, since she's acting on you, or do you want me to roll so you know what you have to beat?
You'd basically be setting the number of successes she's got to have.
I mean, what does it matter at the end of the fucking day?
No, he's right.
Yeah. I do have
Corey's drive is nihilism.
I do have a talent called improved resources.
Cool.
Increase assets +1. May purchase multiple times. Can I create a back sword?
So
Sword
now
It just pops out of my back like a switchblade.
you can create assets in a conflict,
Okay.
but you have to generate successes to do it.
Okay, I see.
Does it have to be like in the canon of the scene? Like,
Yeah, I mean, it has to make sense.
does he have to flip across the room and like pull out Chad's collarbone?
he could really use a cannon right now. I think that would be
Okay, I changed
good
it
asset.
to a back cannon.
Yeah, yeah, it does have to make sense. Like he couldn't just have like, nunchucks
know.
up his butt.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to use another talent, intense study. I can use understand instead of another skill focus.
Okay.
So instead of battle, I'm using understand, which is a 7. So 7 and 8, now a 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So up yours.
Roll your attack.
So as the Bene Gesserit reaches back to strike, you hear Abner go,
Okay, it's a 13 and a 2, so 2 successes on that ass. And I do have focuses.
Do you have one for understand, I assume?
Yes.
is it?
Attention to detail and deductive reasoning. Attention to detail is me watching her in the reflection of the mirror. Yeah.
Okay.
Aww.
So that puts you at 3.
Okay.
Now, she does have you at a disadvantage because your back is to her, which is going to make dodging her attack more awkward. So I'm going to say she automatically has just 1 success.
Okay. So 3 I need to roll again?
No. She's got 1 without even rolling.
Okay,
So
so
it's 3-1 right now.
Okay.
17 and 11. Not great. She does have a blades focus, but that's not enough. So she gets 2 successes.
Abner wins. Fatality.
That's not how that.
she explodes.
That's not how that works. She swings her hand back to smash the pommel of the blade into the side of Abner's head. And how does he avoid that?
He flops down. Face first and kind of tumbles over onto his back. And yeah.
Okay, it's Abner's turn.
He does that thing that like toddlers do when you try to pick them up. They're just like dead weight.
Just dead. Just complete loss of muscle control.
Yeah, he's trying to get up, but he has to like get momentum going.
Now that's that talent where you can switch one of your skills. Is
Yeah.
that like limited use or
You may have to look that up.
what's it called?
Intense study.
Once per scene. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean that's a good use for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Kyle,
Yes, Austin.
Corey rolled an extra success there, 1 more than what she rolled.
I don't think that counts because technically he was just acting defensively.
Okay.
So
that
that's technically not
cannot,
yeah.
That cannot generate a momentum.
Yeah, it doesn't
Okay.
go both ways.
Okay.
Okay, so it's my turn, you say?
It is.
Okay, now I'm going to use my improved resources
Okay.
to create an asset.
Now this could be anything that would reasonably be in your room, be concealed in your apartments, be concealed on your person.
Okay, I'm going to give myself a personal shield
Okay.
in this situation, and I click that sucker on because I think in the at least in the new Dune movie, it's just something you activate with your hand. So
Yeah, it's pretty
Right.
simple.
So in Dune, like the personal shields are like a force field that covers your body. Guns can't get through them, but the slow blade penetrates the shield. So if somebody can stick a knife in you slowly,
Oh, excellent choice.
shut up.
Thank God there's not a knife in the. Oh wait.
I'm gonna create the shield.
You just do that for free because your talent.
So my action, I'm going to use grab my coded communicator and yell into it. Basically, hit a button going to everyone, or at least my chief partner friend.
Sure.
And I yell, I've got a code word for "help me, I'm in danger," and I go, "Cobb salad, Cobb salad."
Nice. Now, does that go to either Gary or Maxim?
Yeah, it goes to everybody I've ever met. It's the big red button.
Does it literally go to everyone you've ever met?
It would. I think it would go to Gary, being the chief of security.
That makes sense.
Okay, and my chief of police. It would go to anybody
Okay.
who would be someone I would contact in case of danger. I don't think it would go to maximum because it's not like, hey, send a spy to check it.
Right, yeah.
To watch me die slowly.
Have some of your boys come check out me die slowly.
Abner was surprisingly lucid coming up with that particular contingency.
Make
So,
sure you
okay.
record this.
So
Can I also like get up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so it is in her interest to. Well, I mean, you flopping on the ground was just color.
Right.
Like she didn't force. She didn't make that happen.
Yeah.
So you can.
Okay.
Now she will contest you sending a message. She will try to stop you.
Okay. So are we doing another?
Yeah.
Are
It's
we?
contested. Yeah. She's
Okay.
using discipline and power to try to stop you. Her body control, basically.
Then I think I will use. Should I use discipline as well?
I think that makes sense because it's really like people are going to get the message if you get it out. The question isn't whether or not they understand; it's whether or not you make the call.
Okay.
And discipline also includes like bodily control and
That's right.
strength and stuff.
Something Bene Gesserit would be really good at.
Okay. So I'm gonna use discipline with a focus of, I guess, power again.
Drive, power.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, power I interpret it as trying to not die.
Yeah. Okay. And discipline, I do have focuses of. One of my focuses is composure, which I think applies here.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Her body control is only, her discipline is only 4, actually.
Okay.
Which
So
you would expect a Bene Gesserit to be higher.
so my target's gonna be 15.
Okay, hers is 11.
Okay. And my discipline is 7, so I can crit under a 7, right? Or 7 and under with my
Whatever your
with my focus,
whatever
composure.
your skill is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I got a 19 and a 6, so the crit counts as 2.
It does. She got 2 6s.
So we tied. So what does that mean?
That means you win because you're
awesome.
You're the initiating person, and if you succeed or exceed the difficulty, if you meet or exceed the difficulty, you win.
Okay. Cobb salad.
Right. She grabs for the communicator, but you get away, send the message, and you get a confirmation on her way.
Cool. Thank you.
I'm on my way there.
All right. See you later.
Praline crackers, praline crackers.
Jalapeno popper.
So the palace is a big place. If I can find a D4, I'm gonna roll one to see how long it'll take. How many rounds you've got? 3.
So is that 3 rounds from the beginning or from this point on?
From this point on.
Shit.
Because this is the end of the first round. Because
Okay.
it started with her action and ended with Abner's.
Okay.
So there'll be 3 more rounds, and then somebody's going to storm in. And I mean, for dramatic purposes, we're going to say it's Gary.
Can let me ask you this: can Gary do a roll with like maybe his move to see if he can make that faster?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
If you get momentum and spend one,
Okay.
he can.
Okay. Gotcha. Not gonna happen.
But without that, he was too deep in the jalapeno poppers.
okay.
Well,
He's got cream cheese all over him.
they had just delivered them. I don't want them to
Yeah.
get cold. I got to eat them.
He had one raised to his lips.
Jalapeno poppers wasn't Gary's signal. He was just taking them from a server.
Yeah, that was just his response.
Right. That was just me.
The communicator was just on. He didn't even hear the first message. So, Corey, it's a new round, and players traditionally go first unless there's a good reason. You know, the first time was she was ambushing you, but now the table's a little turned. Abner's on a little more equal footing. What do you want to do? I think you've exhausted all of your talents so far
So
to
all these,
not die. And you can always try to run away.
okay. I'm not gonna fight this chick. She's gonna beat the living piss out of me and then kill me.
Yes, that's the idea.
Even with the shield. I'm gonna try to create as much time as I can for Gary and the crew to get here. I'm gonna grab like a lamp or something, like, and I'm talking like one of those like
Yeah.
it's tall lamps,
floor
Sure.
lamp?
yeah,
sure.
yeah, and grab it and to try to like, and I'm like kind of jabbing it at her, like, but
Like a lion tamer.
but backing away at the same time. I'm trying to get away, and as I'm doing this, I'm running around couches and anything else to put, just doing a like caught between bases kind of thing a runner would deal with, or in baseball.
Okay, so I'll say you can try to like temporarily increase your defense rating to give her more she has to get through to get to you.
Okay. Well, the
So-
shield gives me +1 defense, right?
Yeah, already.
Okay.
Your default is 1.
Okay.
So I will let you pick. You can either just say that's your action, and you're automatically going to get another 1. So your default would be 2.
Okay.
Or you can use your battle to try to defend yourself more effectively and potentially fail.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I'm just going to make it +1.
Yeah.
So +2 with the shield.
Yeah. So when she comes at you again, your default defense will be 2 plus whatever you roll.
Okay. And I can communicate with her while this is going on, right?
Of course.
Okay, I'm going to yell, "Why?"
She grins, which you've never seen Lady Naomi do.
Right.
And it is unsettling. She's going to take a few steps back and charge with the punch dagger just straight in front of her.
Okay, not really an answer, but okay. So do I need to roll
this will
with
be
you?
an opposed test. She's using her battle and her power, so 14. You can't use your understand anymore from that talent, so you're using battle and I assume power.
Yes. So 12 is what I'm going for here. And what does the defense 2 mean?
That means, okay, so her obstacle, you're defending, she's attacking.
Yep.
Her obstacle is set by whatever successes you roll. And it's already 2. So if you roll 3 successes, her obstacle is 5.
Okay, so it's just basically as if I've already rolled 2 successes.
That's right.
Gotcha.
But
okay.
you still get to roll.
Right, okay. So I'm using battle and power.
Yep. That sounds good to me.
Does statement mean anything?
It doesn't.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Yes, it does. Do you have a statement for battle?
I have a statement for power, if that means anything.
It
which is
can.
Okay. It's power, unlimited power.
In this case, it definitely doesn't.
Which is funny because Abner kind of sounds like Palpatine. So I was going for a 12, and I've got 2 successes. I got a 7 and a 3.
She has 2 successes as well.
But I've got 4 altogether.
You've got 4 altogether.
Does that create momentum as well?
No.
Fucking
no.
shit.
You only create momentum on your action. So, but you can describe how Abner gets away from her as she charges towards you.
So as she charges towards me, I'm behind a couch.
Yes.
I think she kind of deftly leaps over the couch as I'm running away. I see her coming. She leaps over the couch. I run towards a window. And as she's about to get near me, I throw a curtain on her.
So there's this, she steps back, there's this ghost figure struggling. You see this red glow as the pulse punch dagger powers up and she shreds the curtain and is looking at you just insanely angry now.
My favorite curtain.
Her teeth are grinding. It's a very unusual reaction for Lady Naomi. She was always so peaceful. Now, that's a new round. It's your turn.
Okay.
That was Abner round 1. We just finished.
Okay.
What are you doing now? You're gonna stick to your guns and play defensive?
I'm keeping running. I'm running over by the armoire. and I pull out some drawers and throw them to the floor.
Sure.
As if that will stop her.
Nice. So she is going to move to try to circumvent your defensive measures.
Defensive measures.
Yeah. She's basically
Curtain and drawers.
dodging around the curtains, the thrown drawers from the armoire.
Right.
So she's not acting directly against you. She's acting against the obstacles.
Right. Aha, have at you, I'm yelling.
Which we've established are basically
Stupid.
difficulty 1.
Right, okay.
So she's using her move and her power.
Do I need to roll against this?
No, because
Okay.
she's acting against inanimate objects.
Gotcha.
And she rolled a 3 and a 16. So that's what she needs. So because she needed 1 success because they were up difficulty 1.
Ah, you're like a dangerous gazelle. I shriek at her.
So the 3 focus. She has a focus for move, body control. So that's a double. So she gets fun little threat there.
That's
a little
fucked.
momentum. I'm just gonna take that as a threat.
It's a bad thing.
Yeah. Now she's spending 2 of these to keep the initiative and act again in this round.
Okay.
That's a fun thing.
Okay.
We do. Now your shield is still in play.
Yeah. I still have +2 defense.
You have no.
I still have my lamp.
She neutralized it with that move to move around all the obstacles
My
you've been
lemp?
throwing at her. Yeah.
Oh,
that
shit.
counts.
Well, he still has one.
He still has 1, the shield.
Okay.
So I'm gonna grab me another die with this. It's fun little threat there. I'm gonna spend all my threat this round. So hey, I spent 3 threat this round, so that gives you an advancement point.
Later on, you know, if you're alive.
If you're alive.
Oh, cool.
But I got 3 dice.
Okay.
Because that's fun.
Yeah. So do I need to roll?
Yeah, you're gonna need to roll here.
Okay. Okay.
You're gonna be fine, Corey.
Yeah, I'm fine. What am I rolling?
You're gonna need to roll battle and power. This is a fight. She's trying to stab you with the old punch dagger.
Okay. So I'm going for a 12 here. What are you going for fun?
14.
Okay, that
for
sucks.
funsies.
I got an 18 and a 5. So I got 1. So 2 with my shield.
So she got 2 as well. She got a 12 and a 9. Her goal's 14.
Okay.
Unfortunately, she did not crit any.
Okay.
Sad day.
Yeah.
Sad day. But that's 2 successes to your 2 successes, so she hits you.
Okay.
The fighting is an extended test. Trying to hurt you is an extended test.
Okay.
Right? Because you're a player character, and your battle is 4, so she would need to do, she would essentially need to earn 4 successes, or they're not successes.
Stabs.
4 stabs, yeah. It's so... So you have, for an extended test, you have to make, essentially score points, basically. And the number of points made toward the requirement of the extended task is equal to 2 plus the quality of the asset used. So by default, she does 2. Okay. And then her pulse punch dagger is quality 1. So she does 3 total.
3 damages at me?
Basically,
Okay.
for this extended test. And so you've got 1, if she gets another point, she wins the contest.
Okay.
Which means something bad is going to happen.
Sure.
To her. So essentially, in the fiction, she grabs the lamp, pushes it away, and slides the punch dagger just ever so slightly into your ribs, and it's interacting with that shield. There's that as she's trying to push it through, and you can just feel a little tickle on your belly.
Right. But I'm jiggling hard to try to make it harder. Just like a bowl of Jell-O.
And these pulse daggers put out heat, and you can feel that working through the shield. It's getting real.
So I'm like, stab. Oh, but it's cauterized.
No, she hasn't hit you yet.
Okay.
It's still caught in the shield, working
Okay.
its way through.
And I'm jiggling.
And you're jiggling.
Okay.
It's your turn.
Okay, so she's pushing into me. She's really that's her focus right now. I'm going to try to push off of her.
Yeah.
Like with my stubby little foot and my hands. I'm going to try to push off.
Okay.
I'm guessing is that going to be discipline?
So
if it's body control.
So what is your intent? Is
to push her off, put some more distance between us, and then I'm
get the upper hand here.
I'm going to start scampering again.
I mean, it's still battle.
Okay, so battle, and I'm going to stick with power.
Unless you're just trying to flat out run away. Battle and power.
Which is 12. I got a 4 and a 15.
4 and a 15.
Yeah, so.
She got a 10 and a 15.
Does my shield?
No.
Okay, so that I got 1 success, she got 1 success?
She got 1 success. So you, so technically you succeed.
Okay, so I put my stubby foot on her knee and somersault backwards into the air.
So
no, basically I'm pushing her away and pushing myself backwards towards the door.
So you win the contest, so you'll score points against her.
Okay.
And you're basically using your body there.
Okay.
So you do 2 points.
Okay.
And this is round 3, by the way.
Wait a minute. This is round 3 from when he sent his communication?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So the next round, the guards arrive.
Sorry. I'm just picturing right as Abner gets to the door, it flies open and knocks him down as Gary kicks it in.
So Abner kicks off of her, is back against the wall, and she's wearing this really close-fitting hood.
Ninja hood kind of thing.
Essentially, the face is pulled open, like the face veil's pulled up and hanging slack. And that's how you can see who it is.
Yeah.
But you can tell she's got some sort of earpiece.
Right.
And you see a light on it, blink blue, and she stops for a minute and bolts towards the door.
Okay.
Are you going to try to stop her?
Yeah, I'm going to just flop myself towards her.
Okay.
No, you don't.
Okay. So I'm going to say it's,
Not what I thought he would do. Going to be honest.
She's trying to fight her way out.
Okay.
So it's going to be, again, a composed, contested battle and against your, because she's going to try to cut you down to get to the door at this point.
Okay, but this is, am I using battle?
You're going to use move, I think, to get to intervene.
Okay, which isn't any better. It's a 4 as well. So I'm gonna move in power again.
I don't think this would be power, would it? I mean, this is not preserving your own life. She's
Yeah,
not
but-
trying to kill you. My thought would be justice,
Yeah,
because this is a crime at the very least.
absolutely.
It's against the rules to kill me.
Yes, it actually is.
That's actually a specific law that says
There's
don't kill
one-
Abner.
Yeah, I think my argument would be for justice,
Okay.
to stop the criminal from getting away.
Right. But I saw her earpiece go off, right?
You did.
Okay. So I know somebody. I at least in my mind know I want to find out who did it.
Right.
So maybe I will go with truth on this.
Okay. Truth and move.
Okay. Yeah, which is 10. So I'm pretty well fucked. And my defensive shit doesn't mean anything right here, right? Or does it? My shield?
Okay, well, I'll let you decide. If it depends. If you want to go all out and physically interpose
Yeah, that's what
and
I'm
put
doing.
yourself at risk to stop her, then yes.
Or should I throw something at her?
I would stand in the way.
I'll say this. I'll put it this way. If you want to open yourself to risk, you can use your shield, which will make her obstacle to get out harder. If you don't, then no.
Okay. I mean, I do. I mean, I'm putting myself at risk by flopping in front of her.
Well, the difference is if she wins the contest without using your shield, she gets away. Abner's not necessarily injured.
Right.
If you put yourself at risk and she wins, she's getting away and Abner's going to be injured.
Right.
But you would increase your chances of stopping her.
Okay. I'm using my shield.
Okay, so her default is 1,
Okay.
and your target is 10, right?
Yes.
Okay. Roll dice.
Got a 18 and a 15. 2 failures. So I just have 1, right?
You just have 1.
Yep.
She rolled an 11. Her target was 14. She rolled an 11 and 18.
Okay.
But she rolled an 11, so it's 1-1.
Yep.
So she gets away. What does it look like when Abner tries to interpose?
He literally, like, he kind of scuttles over and, like, meh, just kind of flops, like, throws himself, like, kind of sideways with his arms outstretched. Yeah.
So she just physically barrels into Abner, and there's this tumble as the bodies, like, wrap around each other.
Right.
And there's this slow-mo scene where the punch dagger just slides through the shield, and Abner feels a pinch.
Can I say something to her as this is happening?
You can.
I look into her eyes and I go, Martha.
God damn it. Get out.
So the tumble ends. She hits the ground in a ball, springs up, and is out the door. Abner gets up to go after her and it feels a little lightheaded.
Oh, wait.
Blood is just spewing down his side.
Okay.
He tumbles forward.
I turn my shield off.
I clean up the room a little bit, tidy up. So that's going to be the equivalent of her winning the contest.
Okay.
So she goes well over the extended objective.
Okay.
So Abner lost the contest. The assassin,
But he learned a lot.
He learned a lot. The assassin got away. He's getting a new trait. Stabbed in the guts.
Okay.
Now that can be healed. It can go away.
Sure.
It's not like
Griselda.
It's not Griselda. No, no. Gary, you are sprinting across the uppermost floor. That's not the Duke's personal suites. Sword in hand, I'm assuming.
Absolutely.
You round a corner, head into Abner's apartments. In the distance, you see a figure in dark clothing disappear around a corner. You look into Abner's apartments. He's stumbling towards the door, blood just drenching his abdomen. Do you pursue the figure or do you help Abner?
I can only do one or the other.
You could
Yes.
split in 2, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it is
Drags
obvious.
Abner behind him as he chases down.
It is
Get
obvious
on.
to you that this is a significant injury.
Okay.
Are my bunch with him?
They're Gary's way faster than those guys. so
Right.
They're not exactly passing the best physical fitness exams.
Yeah.
All right. So
I don't really run a tight ship.
I kind of got that. I assumed that. But so they'll be along shortly.
So Gary comes running in, sword in hand. He sees Abner bleeding profusely.
Yeah.
He's still,
Abner says, "Hey Gary, come on in. Doors open, please.
Please, God, come in.
and Gary
But does
Gary still melted cheese from the jalapeno poppers still melting, dripping off of his chin. And he says, Abner, what happened to you?
Got stabbed, I did.
And so Gary goes over to Abner. He picks him up and carries him over to the couch and lays him down. And on his communicator, he calls the doctor.
Oh, okay. Sights.
Yeah.
Have the doctor take a look at this.
Save your strength. Now think really hard. Tell me, who was it that did this?
You ain't gonna believe this. Or you might. It's Naomi Hake. She did it. She stabbed me. She tried to kill me.
Gary, internally, he's thinking.
Hey, while you're thinking, can you put some pressure on this?
Gary rips a piece of Abner's shirt off and balls it up and puts it over the wound and holds it there with some pressure.
I can almost see that rainbow bridge.
So Dr. Seitz arrives shortly thereafter with a small
Hey, doctor,
medical
come
team.
on in.
Yeah. He comes in and just ignores your inane yammerings and just immediately starts to treat the possibly mortal wound in your abdomen.
Is he going to make it?
I need you to not talk to me right now, Gary. There's like, he says that and blood just like squelches up, splatters across the doctor's face.
Gary, let the man work. Am I going to make it?
I also need you to shut up.
Son of a...
Can we talk to each other, me and Abner?
There's this thing, he's just cursing under his breath. Stupid. Abner will need to make a, I'm going to say discipline test to remain conscious.
Okay. I do have a focus of composure on there, and I think that fits.
That'll apply. What drive are you using? Otherwise, basically, Abner's going to be out for the next couple days.
He was exposed to somebody with COVID, something like that.
Yeah. She had COVID too. Right. She put it on the dagger. No, he just got stabbed in the intestines.
Right.
He's going to be medicated and put on bed rest.
Sure.
So essentially, this trait, if you're trying to do anything physical until it heals, it's gonna be bad.
Gotcha. Okay. So my discipline's a 7, and I've got composure as a focus.
What
and
drive are you using?
I think I'm going to use duty.
Okay, yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now this is gonna be difficulty. I'm gonna say 3.
Okay.
You got stabbed in the intestines.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, and so
was
this
there.
is tough.
Okay. So 14 is my target, and I can crit under a 7 or a 7 and under.
Okay.
I'm rolling 2 dice.
Yeah,
right?
2 dice because you guys don't have any momentum still, right?
Nope. Got a 1
Nice.
and a 15.
So you got 2 successes. What was
Right.
your target?
3. So since I crit under it doesn't matter. It's still 2 successes.
Yeah, still 2. But what was your overall target number?
14. Yeah, barely missed it.
So they move into a bed, and he's woozy and in and out of consciousness. Finally, about 2 hours later, Maxim comes in.
I assume you've been briefed.
You have not.
Okay, well, real quick, Lady Hake stabbed me and I'm dying. I'm going to be down for a minute. Have your boys keep an eye on her, please.
Out. At least for the rest of the session. But you can play one of your uh-oh bunch.
Okay.
Named Scott Schreffler.
Okay. Scott Schreffler, Patreon subscriber. Thank you very much. You get to be a person.
Yeah, so it'll be... what kind of ranks are in the police for Jormagon and the secret police? What's their rank system? Like sergeants? Do they have like...
No, it's silly.
Shocking.
There's like Big Daddy, Little Brother, Papa Cold One,
My dude.
Johnny on the spot.
No, let's go with Sergeant.
Okay.
Sergeant Scott Schreffler.
All right.
You're Sergeant Scott Schreffler.
Okay.
See, this is why other GMs out there, you don't give your players choices.
Okay.
So it is the afternoon. Abner's stabilized. Dr. Seitz has anesthetized him. Anesthetized. He gave him some good drugs, so he's unconscious. Maxim, Sergeant Schreffler, who was first on the scene from the uh-oh bunch,
Oh, yeah.
and
Love
Gary are in Abner's apartments going over the crime scene. Dr. Seitz has returned to the Duke's quarters, but there is still a medical staff in Abner's room monitoring him. He lost a lot of blood,
Yeah.
but one of the boys is gathering it up because they know Abner will want it back. They're going to replace it, of course, but not till after that. What are Gary, Maxim, and Sergeant Schreffler doing?
I do want to describe Sergeant Schreffler here a little bit.
Go ahead.
He's Abner was a smallish man. Sergeant Schreffler's smaller. He's like he's 5'4" if he has like good shoes on.
Sure.
Right, but still like stocky. He's a cop, so
And he's a very capable combatant.
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, we do have. I've got his stats here. Kyle made up for me, so
Yeah.
So he is, in fact, closer to Danny DeVito.
he's DeVito-ish.
Like Danny DeVito is a very angry cop
Right.
with a big nightclub.
So I'm going to cut back real quick
Sure.
to Maxim's quarters.
Okay.
Where he's just knee deep in some decoupage, and
Okay.
Jesus.
Okay.
where you just hear some beeping and you hear him go, "Oh, well, all right." And he grabs his cane and kind of hobbles out of the room. Very shocked to see Abner in the state that he's in. So now he's just kind of standing, leaning on his cane, watching Gary and the new sergeant going over the crime scene and listening to Gary's recount of the events.
Oh, please let us hear Gary recount the events.
I got to you too late. I was only able to catch a glimpse of the assailant as they ran around the corner in the hall.
But surely Abner told you who it was.
He said it was Lady Hake.
What?
He said it was Lady Hake. You know, the Bene Gesserit.
Yes, I'm very familiar. I just can't believe that.
I think Maxim should go and talk to Lady Hake.
Maxim agrees.
No, because here's the thing. Guys, here's the thing. My Wu-Tang guard took orders from me, but it was not me. Perhaps it was not Lady Hake. Perhaps it was one of these face dancers.
That's a very good point.
Thank you.
Hey guys, Sergeant Schreffler here.
It's uncanny.
Good to see you guys again. Now, it could have been a face dancer, that's true. But seemed like a pretty capable combatant. And might have been using Benny Gesserit ninjury.
Don't get too technical there, Sarge.
Because if there's anything I know is my boss is tops. You know, he's not the best combatant, but I don't think he would have went down that easy.
I disagree.
And didn't, you know, but she did have reasonable cause to come in and stab him because the boss found out that she's banging Silas.
Sergeant, I appreciate your dexterity, but could you stop doing a handstand while you're telling us this?
Basically what I'm saying here is I don't think she's going to allow herself to be interviewed. She's scampering away from a crime scene.
If it was in fact her.
Yes, that's what I was about to say.
Okay, go talk to her. You're probably going to get stabbed. Just saying.
Here's the thing,
look what
though.
they did to the boss man.
If Sergeant Schreffler is right, and it was in fact the Bene Gesserit Lady Hake, that's bad.
I just don't want to get getting too paranoid and this end up being the thing. Be like everybody's a face dancer. Everybody's a face dancer. It's just that's scary.
All I need to know is one thing. Who do I need to kill?
I want to kill Lady Hake. She stabbed my boss, and I like him. I think what the move here is, and you guys are above me, so tell me to shut up if you want to. I think, Maxim, you need to have your boys take a look out.
God damn it.
Have your boys peep around for her.
Yes, Sergeant.
That's my catchphrase. Have your boys peep.
I smell what you're stepping in.
I'm probably going to regret this, but Sergeant Schreffler, what do you think me and the Wu-Tang should do?
Same thing. Have your boys peep.
As he's saying that, Gary's making the jack off motion.
Appropriate.
I'm just saying.
Maxim laughs.
I'm just saying we need to lock down the castle even more than it.
The castle's already locked down. Sergeant.
Double lock.
Sergeant, stand down.
No, we need to put the chain on too. No, we need to search. I think we need to search for Lady Hake.
Gary, that is my thinking. The sergeant is right. I think we should commence a search for Lady Hake. But we do have to think strategically here. We're getting attacked from several different directions. We suspect Wolfram of assassinating Lady Griselda, and now we have Lady Hake and trying to assassinate Abner for reasons unknown as far as his competency.
I think the reasons are known. He found out she was banging Silas. That's illegal. The Duke's still alive. It's illegal.
But do you think the two are entirely unrelated?
Possibly. This is intrigue.
There's a sound of someone clearing their throat, and you guys turn to the entryway, and you see Yerem Volkart, the Green Duke's bodyguard, standing in the doorway to Abner's apartments. He's carrying a beer. He's, of course, wearing a sword in his old Lieutenant Guard
Carrying
uniform.
a beer.
Why not?
I assume we all have beers.
It's always unspoken. And
It's an asset we all share.
Yeah.
Sergeant Schriffler has a holster that has another can.
He's got the two mugs on either side of his helmet
Right.
so there's
with the tube that goes into his mouth.
There's secret police, examining parts of the room. There's servants cleaning things up. He just walks in, walks through the blood spill on the carpet, leaves bloody footprints into Abner's apartment,
No, he's not going to like that.
looks around. Tragic events of the day.
What do you want, Volkart?
What are you doing here?
The Duke is.
Hey,
The Duke had a moment of lucidity and was unhappy to learn about his nephew and his niece. That would be Griselda and Abner. I presume the former will pull through. He takes this long drink on his beer, just kind of looking over the mug at Maxim.
Maxim says nothing.
if I know anything about my boss, the answer to that is absolutely maybe.
He looks at Sergeant Schreffler, unreadable expression, but with disdain. Then passes that to Gary with disdain, looks back to Maxim. So you have no update for the Duke?
Gary slaps the beer out of his hand,
Oh, okay.
draws his sword,
Oh, God.
holds the point to his neck, and says, "If you know anything, you need to tell us right now, right here."
Volkart looks down at the blade, steps forward and rests his neck on the tip and says, "I'm here on the Duke's orders. He's awake right now. If you want to kill the man he sent to check on you, by all means." Now, your character would know the Duke has a notoriously psychotic temper, and it has not improved as his illness has spread.
Gary holds the tip of his sword at Volkart's neck for about another 5 seconds, then whips it away, sheaths it, and says, "To be continued."
Volkart just nods slowly.
Classic TBC.
Austin, roll your communicate and your truth.
All right. So I'm trying to beat a 14. There's a 16 and a 17.
Here we go.
Alrighty, that's a good deal. So, do you guys? Long story short, do you guys tell him what you know about who attacked Abner or not?
Gary says no.
Okay, Gary votes no.
I think we can.
So Austin votes yes. Todd votes no.
I vote yes, but I think somebody should do a roll or something to see what his reaction is like.
That read action has already been rolled,
Oh, okay. That was
failed.
okay.
and I'm assuming I picked Austin because I'm assuming he would have the best
Right.
chance of doing that from the current
Well,
ensemble.
Okay.
best
I
chance on paper.
vote we tell him it was the Bene Gesserit.
Okay, so you guys communicate to him that it's believed at the moment that Naomi Hake committed the attack, the Bene Gesserit consort of the Green Duke. Volkart's expression is unreadable. He looks at Gary, he looks at Maxim, he ignores the sergeant,
No.
picks up his beer mug, and leaves.
Bye.
He flips you off.
Oh, shit.
No, he doesn't. I'm kidding. I don't know. Actually, Volkart probably would flip you
Yeah, I was
off.
about to say, that
He's
totally
a
makes
pretty
sense.
petty jackass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It obviously wouldn't be the bird, but it would whatever the equivalent gesture on Jormungand would be.
The porpoise.
It's probably turning the mug over as if
Right.
to spill beer on purpose
Right.
at your disdain.
Well, guys, what do we make of that?
I think it was a mistake.
Yeah, you're probably right. But oh well, we've done lots of those in these games.
You guys fail forward. That's your.
Yeah.
So we do have people looking for her, right? The Uh-Oh bunch, the spies, and the swordsmen.
Nobody's been given any orders yet.
Yeah. I'm going to order my Wu-Tang to try to find
I mean,
Lady Hick.
presumably there would be Wu-Tang Guard outside her apartments right now.
Okay, so I'm going to check in with my Wu-Tang who are stationed outside Lady Hake's quarters.
They confirm that she recently returned to her apartments. Supposedly, she had been meeting with the Green Duke, according to her.
Meeting with the Green Duke, but she's sweaty and in ninja outfit.
It's his kink.
Yeah. I mean, just for the sake of brevity, she was in her normal attire, which would be some sort of elaborate Bene Gesserit costume. She didn't appear out of sorts.
Y'all want to go kick the fucking door down?
Kind of.
Gary's always down to
Let's
kick a
do.
door down.
Let's do.
I'm a cop. I'm definitely ready to kick a door down.
Now, Todd, technically, Gary has a greater duty to defend Lady Naomi than he does Abner.
True.
Carry on.
Oh, because it's the Duke's girlfriend?
Yeah.
Gary, I'll make a proposition to you. If it puts less pressure on you, I can take a contingent to Naomi's quarters and confront her with Abner's attack.
And I'll bring the uh-oh bunch.
The sergeant can come with me.
No.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, she's a member of the immediate household.
I am sworn to protect House Vent. That includes Lady Hake. I am not convinced that it was actually her, so I will go to Lady Hake's quarters.
Should we all go?
It's up to you guys. Do you mean in terms of propriety?
I'm saying it in the terms that we're not going to kick the door down, but going to talk to her.
I think in terms of the etiquette of nobility, Maxim could definitely go. Gary, of course. An uh-oh bunch guy, probably not.
Okay.
He could stand outside,
Okay.
right? But he's, Abner is a lord, basically.
Right.
He doesn't have any, fiefdom
Sure.
or anything, but the sergeant could be there in some sort of support capacity.
If you want to accompany me, Maxim, I would be fine with that. You, however,
yeah.
you can come, but you have to stay outside.
All right.
It'll be fine. I have 2 Wu-Tang guards out there, Ronnie and Donnie.
Okay.
You can chill with them.
All right. Cool.
Are those people in the Wu-Tang Clan?
No.
Oh, I don't know.
I just made up 2 names.
That fits.
I like them
Ronnie
rhyming.
and Donnie. You got Inspector Deck, Jizza, Rizza, Ronnie, Donnie.
I just, in my own headcanon, that's not even their names. Gary just has a short list of names that he knows, and those are always what he assigns to guards members.
Right.
Constant subject
just-
of conversation is like, okay, so you're Ronnie.
No, I think you're Ronnie this week. He called me Donnie yesterday.
No, that works for me.
All right, let's do it.
So when you get there, the Wu-Tang guard inform you that she just left, but they know where she is because there's a bodyguard with her, and they direct you to the gardens. Now, at this time of year, the gardens are a bit damp.
They're outside.
They're outside.
Oh,
So it's this enclosed courtyard on the grounds of the palace, and yeah, rain is coming down in buckets. All the plants here are chosen for their ability to withstand high amounts of moisture, so everything's still green and flowering. There's about 6 inches of water building up in the courtyard, overwhelming the pumping system, and you can see Lady Hake just standing in the middle of the garden, 2 servants holding umbrellas over her, and a very miserable-looking Wu-Tang guardsman standing not that far away.
Sergeant, I wonder if you wouldn't mind stationing a few of the uh-oh bunch around the garden. Keep an eye on the situation.
Yeah. Why not?
So the rain is coming down in sheets as Maxim and Gary go out. There's this crack of lightning in the distance, and everything is that flash of white illumination, and then this massive roll of thunder that just drowns out all sound. Are you guys getting umbrellas or slickers or anything?
Maxim requires one.
Gary has a slicker.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Sergeant Streffler isn't going out there with them, right? Yeah,
I assume not.
Yeah, okay, cool.
I assume he was just going to stand in the doorway.
Yeah.
A servant brings him a hot malted beer.
Nice.
So Gary and Maxim stop a respectable distance away from the Bene Gesserit, Lady Naomi Hake. She's wearing this green coat with this big ermine fur neck around it. She has this metal veil coming down over her face that's just the same color as her eyes. She has long scarlet hair that's pulled back, and she's completely dry. this umbrella stands fairly wide around her. The servant is not dry. And she looks at both of you, nods. Fine weather.
Lady Hake, we bring troubling news. Abner, the head of the secret police and the Utto bunch, was attacked.
She nods.
He's going to live, though.
Can Maxim roll to read her reaction at that news?
You can, absolutely.
Communicate and truth again?
Okay, she's going to use her communicate and truth.
Okay, so I have to beat a 14. Jesus fucking Christ. 2 19s.
Jesus. Damn.
Man, what are the complication scores? Is it just a 20? I think it's just a 20.
Just a
Yeah.
20, yeah.
She didn't roll any successes either.
Ooh.
Yeah, so,
Brain is wet.
Jesus. Okay, well then I'll use passive scrutiny.
what does that do?
I get 1 free obtain info.
Okay.
What was her reaction?
She doesn't really have one. There's no audible sense of relief or surprise. The closest you could pin it to would have been apathy.
Well, it is Abner. Yeah. I suspect to be a similar reaction for most people.
Yes, but if you assume that Abner knows about her and Silas, then you would expect there to be more than that.
Yes.
Sure. That would it should be a very dangerous piece of information.
Yeah.
Perhaps even more troubling is that Abner says it was you who attacked him. As Swordmaster of House Vent, I do not believe this, but I thought you should know that that's the word on the street.
That's her reaction.
Screams. She looks at Gary for a long moment and says, I appreciate your trust. People see many strange things in the palace these days.
We're presented with a difficulty here, madam. Because while I am of the same belief as our swordmaster that this could not have been you that committed this crime, it does leave us in a difficult position of having to account for your exact movements, as your absence from your quarters actually does correspond to what happened.
Yes, of course, the circumstances are suspicious.
So, ...
Yeah, so you can try to persuade her to give something more than that.
You see, madam, with the future of the house being so uncertain, it's unsure who one should be beholden to in terms of accountability. The more we can all be more transparent and reliable, the better.
Okay, roll. Before I give her answer, you need to roll. So
Okay.
I assume you're using communicate, and what's your drive?
Here's a question. She
Yes.
did not roll any successes in her concealment of her, whatever her reaction was that first time around.
Correct.
Does that count as failing an understand or communication test against me?
Yes.
Okay. Then I would like to give her the mistaken belief that I do completely believe in her innocence.
Do you have a talent that does that or something?
Yes. Hidden motives. Whenever they fail an understand or communicate test against you, you can give them a trait to reflect a mistaken belief about you.
Okay. And you assign the trait?
Yes.
And you want her to think you believe she's innocent?
Yes.
Yeah, that will give you a +1 to this roll.
Okay.
Okay, she's using her duty and her communicate.
Oh, okay. I rolled an 18, but there's a 1. So 3 successes total.
She has 2 successes. She says, I was fulfilling a greater obligation. If you need someone to verify my whereabouts, Silas Vent can do so.
So getting boned is fulfilling an obligation?
She said she was fulfilling a greater obligation.
Oh, okay.
So at the mention of Silas, Gary kind of gives a sidelong glance to Maxim.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she sees that and she says, yes, we were in the throes of passion. It was very exhilarating. He is quite talented.
Maxim shudders at the thought of intimacy.
And she says, I believe I shall conceive this time. The child will most certainly not be born until after the Duke has expired. But then my obligation to your house will be fulfilled, and I shall depart.
Cool. Thank you for being so forthright. As Swordmaster of House Vent, I am forever indebted and in your service. I'm going to go get some jalapeno poppers.
Maxim sticks around for just a moment.
Okay.
I would like to just consult with you for a moment.
I'm at your service, of course.
You mentioned many people were seeing confusing and deceptive things around the palace. I grow more and more fearful every day that we may have a face dancer or other possible disguised foe working against us.
It is certainly the case that there are those who are not who they appear to be, but I would caution you against the boast that House Vent's enemies could afford a face dancer. That is not a tool that the Bene Tleilaxu dispense with lightly, and there are many other ways to appear as someone else.
Then could you possibly tell me what it is that we should look for in your eyes?
So, Austin,
Yeah.
I'm not going to make you roll. If you give me 2 threat, she will tell you what you should be looking for.
I mean, what's the role?
Hard.
Okay. Take 2 thread.
I have 5 now.
Great.
So she gestures to her servant, who hands her satchel purse. She opens it and takes out this black hood, and she hands it to you. She explains that this is a Cybus hood. It's developed by the Ixians, and it can change a person's appearance. Standard hood just makes you look like somebody random. But recently there have been innovations that would allow it to look like specific people for short periods of time. Now, the downside is that you couldn't copy any of the other characteristics. It doesn't necessarily change voice, it doesn't change height or anything like that. But if you get somebody about the right height who can do a decent imitation of the person's voice, maybe Abner mentioned to Maxim that in his encounter with Lady Hake, she didn't speak to him.
Yeah, I don't know that Abner would have communicated that though.
That's true.
He was passing out. As
He was
said
pretty.
it. Yeah.
He was in pretty bad shape.
Yeah.
That speaks to a pretty good certainty of dealing with an organized group.
Well, why does she have one of those hoods?
Because she's a Bene Gesserit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But hers is not the model that can look like a specific person.
Okay.
Like if she was wearing it, it would, and you passed her in the hallway, it would look like her, just some random woman you'd never seen.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I ask you just a casual question in passing?
Of course.
No pressure.
I am open to you, Maxim. And there's innuendo in that.
Maxim misses it entirely.
Is Maxim celibate
Yes, but
on purpose?
no.
He's old.
Like in the way that Sherlock Holmes doesn't think about sex.
I see.
Who do you personally believe ordered the assassination of Lady Griselda? And Maxim makes sure to assume kind of a humorous curiosity of expression.
So who do you think killed her?
He nudges her in the ribs with his elbow.
It's a little like thinking politely.
Well, I can only have 6 threat maximum.
Jesus.
Oh, God.
What I think is irrelevant. And I would not breathe such accusations as my thoughts run without proof. Not even to you.
Last question.
I will humor you. And there's this rumble of thunder in the distance.
May I borrow that? And Max points to the hood.
She smiles sweetly. No.
Have a good evening, madam.
And you. And Maxim departs, and as far as you can tell, she just stays in the garden looking at the flowers that are slowly getting drowned by the flood. And we'll end there tonight.
Sweet.
Hopefully that was not illuminating at all.
Well, yep, that was fun once again.
Good.
Yep, hope you guys are digging it.
Abner didn't die, so I'm
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah.
Lots of intrigue and a little action this week,
Yeah.
too.
But I got 5 threat to hurt Austin with next time.
But anyway, thank you guys again. Thanks to our patrons on the Patreon. Scott Schreffler was a player character tonight.
Yeah.
He's one of our patrons, so the tier he's on makes him a character. You two can have that happen. It'd be wonderful.
Yeah, eventually Dallas, Gibson, Derek Operly, Chris Riley, Adam Walker, and Carissa Habermeyer.
Who's Adam Walker?
I don't know. Isn't that
Wallace.
Wallace?
Yeah.
Oh. That's because I can't read my own handwriting. Will eventually be in the game. One of them is already in the game,
Ooh.
other than Scott.
Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Cool. But yeah, so thank you to those patrons, and if you want to give us some money, it would help. So please do.
We would appreciate it.
Yep, and you can follow us on the Twitters and stuff. We're going to be putting some more stuff on the Twitter, more interaction kind of stuff, because We're gonna play some other games, so we're
Yeah.
gonna put a poll up at some point. And let you guys choose what we play.
We've got some good options. I'm pretty excited about all of them, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Follow us on all that stuff, and please subscribe and rate on your podcast places.
Thank you very much. I'm the Game Bastard Kyle.
I'm Todd.
Corey.
I'm Austin.